Hey everybody, Coach Sherwin here from AP Baller. Today what I want to look at is understanding what is on your playlist before the game. Are you listening to hardcore rap? Are you listening to hip hop? Or are you listening to country? If you are listening to some really upbeat things, it may be ruining your game. Everybody has their preferred song or playlist to get themselves amped up for the game, to get the edge on the competition. But there are a number of hoopers out there that are doing this exact thing, but still not seeing that edge or performing to the best of their abilities. Why is that? Now, pre-game jitters are a real thing. Everybody gets them. If you don't, that means you just don't really care about the game. The pre-game jitters, that nervous feeling is maybe because you're playing against a rival team, or maybe it's the championship finals, or maybe your parents, your friends, your family, they're all watching the game and you want to perform to the best of your abilities. The performance anxiety that you may be feeling is real, and it can dictate how well you play or how poorly you play. Performance anxiety is the fear of one's ability to complete or perform a specific task. People experiencing this type of anxiety may worry about failing to complete that task, which will lead to humiliation or rejection. Now, I've had my personal experience with this exact issue. All throughout high school, my music selection was always upbeat. Gangster rap, hip hop, it controlled my airwaves to get me ready for competition. Then university happened. As a walk-on the university basketball team, I approached each game in practice like I did in high school, listening to the music that I wanted, having my ritual, and I figured that the rest would take care of itself. But things were a little different. Players were bigger, they were stronger, they were as fast or maybe even faster than I was. So the pressure was on for me to prove myself, prove my worth on the basketball court, given my stature when I am not built as your typical basketball player. With my anxiety being so high on the court, I would hold the basketball and I would literally shake. My dribble timing was off. I couldn't gauge the depth of the rim, so shooting was not an option in my mind. I was so engulfed in the fight or flight response that my decision-making part of my brain had basically shut down, making basketball so hard to play. So how did I become this ball handling point guard wizard to not being able to dribble up the court without turning over the ball? It wasn't without the help of world-renowned sports psychologist Cal Botterill, who helped me discover that it was the music selection that was causing me to be overstimulated and amplified my anxiety. A simple switch to slower, more calming music was the key to relaxing my mind and turning off the fight or flight response so that I was able to play basketball at a high level again. Here's an interesting note. The recommended beats per minute to produce alpha brain waves to reduce stress and anxiety is 60 beats per minute. The average beats per minute for hip hop or rap is 80 to 120 beats per minute. You can imagine that you have double the beats per minute, which can affect your performance on the court. I want you to keep in mind that this is not including all the other outside factors that can contribute to increased energy and anxiety, like coffee, consuming coffee before the game, energy drinks before the game, or other caffeine or stimulant-based supplements. In a 2012 study by Verma et al., found a positive correlation between the reduction of competition stress, which led to a highly significant post-intervention performance score. To simplify, the music put them in a calmer state of mind, which allowed them to perform at a higher level. So what are we saying here? Athletes will use music to set the tone for their training or their performance. If you are already high energy or feeling high energy and you're overly anxious, it may not be the best choice to match that energy with the music. Rather, you may want to look at taking your energy levels down a notch by listening to more calming music to balance you out. Conversely, if you are feeling low and you want to try and kick up your energy levels a notch, then that upbeat music may be the best thing for you to get that edge on the competition. Let's scale it back to the younger years. How was I able to perform with listening to high energy music or hardcore rap before games, perform the way I played, and then all of a sudden in university could not do that? In a training session with one of our pros here, Keith O'Mara, who has recently, in the last couple of years of playing, switched his musical choice to something more relaxing. He just wants to feel good. He just wants to be able to go out on the court, not be overly amped up, play in a calm, relaxed state of mind. And the only conclusion that we could come up with, which makes perfect sense now, is that when you play basketball in high school, the competition is vast. You have all levels of basketball, and really, to be blunt about this, you can go play and not use your brain one little bit. You can just use your athleticism and excel in the game of basketball when you're playing in that sort of competition field. But now if we switch it, or if you go into a higher level of competition where athleticism isn't the only thing that will help you, it's your mind that is the bigger, that gives you the biggest edge, that's when things need to be firing on all cylinders. This is why, if you are still amped up, if you're trying to amp yourself up and you're not getting that performance, or you're feeling like you're too nervous, or you have all this extra energy, that your music selection can be the determining factor in whether or not you're going to excel at next level basketball or not. Every player is different. Don't force the music into your game. Let the music help your game.